Hello, it's Mike Adam. This is your Eye Opener Music Beat. I am hanging out with Jesse McCartney.
What's going on, Mike?
Nothing, man. A lot of exciting stuff going on for you, huh?
Living the dream.
It was funny. Before we got on camera, you were like, oh, where's my coffee at? But I heard you were like cutting back on it, actually.
Cutting back on coffee.
Not
My
doing too well with
doctor's
that, huh?
like, you got to lay off the coffee. So I'm actually drinking tea. And I'm like a super freak with tea now. Like
Okay.
I'm really, like I get super anal about it. Like I go to the tea shop and I buy all these different teas and they have like a certain brewing temperature, a brewing time for that temperature. So I have like a thermometer. It's like a science lab in my kitchen now. It's like every time I'm home, my girlfriend's like, what are you doing? It looks like you're like taking something, like you're dissecting something. I'm like, I'm just making tea.
You're a tea snob
So I'm like
now.
a tea snob now. And
man.
I never used to be into tea. And then all of a sudden, like now I am. I don't know what it is. I think it's maybe because I'm drinking really high quality teas, like from China and Japan. And anyway, this interview's getting off to a really...
That is so funny, man.
Yeah, it's the best. So anye, I love tea.
In a few years, people are going to be like, where'd Jesse McCartney go? Oh, yeah, he has a line
He's like
of tea.
He's
That's
in China with all the Buddhists, like sitting in a mountain somewhere making tea.
Right. I was doing some research on you before we got in here, and it was so funny. These Leo DiCaprio comparisons, where did that even come from, and why is it like nonstop right now?
I guess, and I can see why. If you look at photos of us, there are there's similar physical resemblances, but with us, and I think as I get older too, and I'm looking more like a man and less like a young boy. But I can see it more and more too. But I think also the video that I did had this sort of retro. The music video for Superbad had this sort of retro thing, and with his Wolf of Wall Street and all of the retro films that he's done. I can see why it's,
Are you sick of that yet, or no?
There's worse people I could be compared to, I suppose.
That's very true.
I'm a big fan of Leo, and, so whatever.
I was watching like a ton of interviews with you and stuff. You're just such a laid back, like calm dude. Can you even remember the last time, like what pisses off Jesse McCartney? Like what would make you want to stand up and punch me in the face right now? Can we, I can't picture you mad.
Well, I get mad. I'm kind of a perfectionist. What really upsets me is when people have like a single job or task and they can't even do that. Like, when
it's like
people,
those memes. You had one job.
It's true. That is sort of one of my one of the things I say all the time is like a driver there was this driver that was working for Uber, the Uber company.
Yeah.
And like he had a navigation system in his car, right? Like most people do nowadays. And I was supposed to be I was leaving West Hollywood. I was driving down to downtown for a big engagement dinner who my best friend was like, do not be late. Don't be late.
Right.
So I leave at 5. The dinner's at 6. We didn't get there till like 6:40 because he couldn't get downtown. And I was like, not only do you only have one job, but you have a computer doing most of it for you. And you can't even, like, that stuff really upsets me. Like, I was yelling at the guy, like, we left the car, I got out of the car, like, that kind of stuff. Like, incompetence, I guess you could say.
Right. Yeah, I imagine you getting mad is kind of far and few. Before we wrap up, man, I want to know the last time, if you could recall, where you used your celebrity to get something. Anything. Skip a line. What?
I don't know. I always feel like such a douchebag doing something like that, Like, I always, like, even the thought of it's just, like, it kind of gives me, like the creeps. Like, and I always remember, like, I know of people who have done that, you know? I won't mention any names, but every time, like, it's like one of those roll your eyes moment, like, give me a break, you know what I mean? So I'm just not really that kind of guy. Listen, I enjoy the perks, and I get plenty of them just doing what I do for a living. I am so, it's just way too much already. It's like gluttony at this point, and so I'm not like, it would be really silly and selfish for me to ask for any more just because of I'm a household name, maybe,
Right, and that is why we love you. Right. Thank you so much, man. Jesse McCartney, thanks for hanging out with us.
Thanks a lot, Mike.
Awesome.